Two people have been murdered in separate knife attacks over the weekend. In Sydenham, an 18-year-old was stabbed in the heart during a fight, while a 20-year-old woman was killed in Enfield. James Banks joins me now with more on both of those stories. So, James, first of all, what's the latest with the woman who's been stabbed?
Well, in Enfield, Edmonton to be precise, the details still are fairly few and far between. But what we do know is that the 20-year-old woman, who is yet to be formally identified, was stabbed in the early hours of Sunday morning, just after midnight. Early hours of Sunday morning. She was treated at the scene by paramedics and rushed to hospital, but she later died of her injuries, and subsequently a 38-year-old woman has been arrested on suspicion of murder. And what's
the circumstances around the stabbing in Sydenham?
Yeah, Sydenham, obviously the other side of the river, south east London this time, only a few hours before Saturday evening. We have got a name for the victim, James Hunter, 18-year-old James Hunter. Now, it's being reported that his death came after what was a large argument between two groups of youths in the Sydenham area, and that, in fact, he'd tried to step in to act as almost a peacemaker when another teenager was stabbed, a 17-year-old boy. The 17-year-old was taken to hospital, and where he remains in a stable condition. James Hunter, sadly, his injuries were far more severe, and he died at the scene. As a result of this, we now know that 4 people are in custody, 4 teenagers, all under the age of 18, with the youngest being 13 years of age. And James's death is the fifth teenager to be stabbed on London streets so far this year. Now, what's interesting about the timing of this death is that today, London Ambulance Service have released figures suggesting that around 1,000 young people were either stabbed or shot in the capital last year. Quite shocking statistic, to say the least. What is being done about all this? What is being done about knife culture, about gang culture? Well, again, coincidentally, today, the Mayor of London, Boris Johnson, is hosting his Gangs Summit. There, police are saying that they've actually, in fact, cut the number of gang-related crimes by around about a quarter over the last couple of years. But clearly, there is a lot more to be done, and Boris Johnson himself has pledged to spend £3 million on projects to reduce gang-related crime over the next few years. He says that we have turned a corner when it comes to gang-related crime, but admits that there is a long way to go. I don't think anyone will argue with that.